Shalom, beloved. My name is Miss Highsmith, and I'm so glad that you've decided to join me here for part 5 of the APA Apology Response series. Now, beloved, if you were not aware, back in February of 2021, the American Psychological Association, better known as the APA, distributed a public apology to persons and communities of color for the part they played in promoting, perpetuating, and failing to challenge racism, racial discrimination, and human hierarchy in the U.S. Beloved, let's begin. For in this episode, we'll specifically begin at paragraph 9, sentence number 1b, where I quote, "Eugenics is defined as the idea that racial differences and hierarchies are biologically based and fixed, and was used to support segregation, sterilization, and anti-marriage laws." Close quote. Beloved, eugenics is a controversial and discredited movement that aimed to improve the genetic quality of the human population through selective breeding and other means. Here are some of the key highlights of the eugenics movement, its history, and its impact. We'll begin at its origins and early advocates. The term eugenics was coined by Sir Francis Galton in the late 19th century. Galton, who was a cousin of Charles Darwin, believed that intelligence and other traits were hereditary and advocated for selective breeding to, according to him, improve the human race. Its rise in popularity began in the early 20th century, particularly in the United States and in Europe. It was supported by many prominent scientists, politicians, and intellectuals who believed that social problems could be solved by controlling human reproduction. Eugenics policies and practices included, number 1, sterilization programs. Many countries, including the United States, implemented forced sterilization programs aimed at preventing individuals deemed unfit from reproducing. This often targeted people with disabilities, mental illnesses, and those from marginalized communities. Number 2, there were marriage restrictions. Laws were enacted to prohibit marriage between people considering genetically inferior or those of different races to maintain the purity of certain gene pools. Institutional support. American Eugenics Society was founded in 1926. This organization promoted eugenic principles through public education, advocacy, and public initiatives. In particular, the Eugenics Record Office in the United States conducted research and maintained records to support eugenic policies. Eugenics and racism. Eugenics was often intertwined with racist ideologies, promoting the idea that certain races were superior to others. This was used to justify discriminatory laws and practices, including segregation and immigration restrictions. Let's dig deeper into world history. The most notorious application of eugenic principles occurred in Nazi Germany, where the ideology of racial purity led to the Holocaust. The Nazis implemented extensive eugenics programs, including forced sterilizations, euthanasia of disabled individuals, and genocide of Jews, Roma, and other groups. Let's move forward to the decline and discrediting. Post-World War II. After the atrocities of the Holocaust were revealed, eugenics fell out of favor. The movement was widely discredited due to its association with Nazi ideology and human rights abuses. From there arose a scientific rejection. Advances in genetics and a better understanding of heredity and human variation further undermined the scientific basis for eugenics. Now let's fast forward to the legacy and ethical considerations. The legacy of eugenics continues to influence discussions around genetics, reproductive rights, and bioethics. It serves as a cautionary tale about misuse of science and the dangers of attempting to control human reproduction. Modern bioethics. The history of eugenics has led to greater scrutiny of genetic research and reproductive technologies, emphasizing the need for ethical considerations and respect for human rights. Here are some characters that were associated with the eugenics movement. Charles Davenport, an American biologist and a leading figure in the eugenics movement here in the United States. He directed the Eugenics Record Office and promoted eugenic policies and research. Harry H. Laughlin, a key advocate for eugenics in the United States, known for his work at the Eugenics Record Office and his influence on sterilization laws and immigration policies. Margaret Sanger. Sanger was an early advocate of birth control and family planning who also supported eugenic principles, believing that birth control could help reduce the reproduction of what she deemed as unfit. Beloved, in conclusion, let us remember eugenics as representing a dark chapter in the history of science and in society. It was marked by misguided and harmful attempts to so-called improve the human population through selective breeding and other coercive measures. The movement's legacy serves as a reminder of the unethical implications of scientific research and the importance of safeguarding human rights and dignity. Beloved, thank you so much for joining me on this episode. Remember, this recording is a part of the Free Square movement. Shalom, beloved.